PSL Game of the Week, where we have the 9-4-3 Serbian White Eagles taking on the 6-6-5 Brampton Lions, right here from Centennial Stadium. I'm Tiffany Kalanikos, alongside with Ben Ennis and Mike Arcelides. And guys, we are in for a great game tonight. Both teams are coming off hard losses, and they're really out for 3 points tonight. Guys, let's get right into the player profiles. Mike, why don't you take us through the Brampton Lions player, Daniel Nascimento?
Thank you very much, Tiffany. Yes, Daniel Nascimento. Not only does he lead these Lions, there you see him, but he also leads the league with 14 goals in 17 games. He is an explosive player when he's got the ball. And he's, as you can see, he's 21 years of age. He hails from Brampton. He's a midfielder, so look out for Mr. Nascimento, looking to add more goals to tonight's score sheet and his season record.
And Ben, from the Serbian White Eagles, we have Sasa Vesiknets.
Yeah, Sasha Vesiknets doesn't quite have as many goals as Daniel Nascimento, only has 7, but still, this guy is an explosive force when he is on the field. We saw him in our last broadcast. He had a goal, came on as a substitution in the second half, just arrived from Serbia, and he is obviously fresh and ready to go. He has 7 goals on his season, as I mentioned. 21 years old is Sasha Vesiknets, and Vesiknets should be a force for these Serbian White Eagles.
Both very impressive players, having great impacts on past games with their teams. Let's take a look at some of those past games and the results. Ben, why don't you take us through those results?
Well, a busy week in the Canadian Soccer League. Didn't have a broadcast last week, but didn't mean that there were no games on August 22nd. We had Toronto, Croatia falling 2-0 to the Italia Shooters. Portugal FC 3-2 winners over the Serbian White Eagles in our last broadcast. Windsor with a 5-1 win over London City. Trois-Rivières falling 2-1 to these Brampton Lions. Italia Shooters and the Serbian White Eagles were in a 1-1 draw. Portugal FC with a 5-2 win over TFC Academy. North York with a 1-0 win over the St. Catharines Wolves. And then St. Catharines bouncing back with a 5-1 win over these Brampton Lions. So the Lions trying to bounce back from that. Let's have a look at the standings. And Mike, why don't you take us through the National Division?
This looks very familiar to those of you watching every week. Trois-Rivières on top, 34 points, followed by North York. They've had a great second half of the season, followed by the Lions, who will be seeing tonight. Windsor, St. Catharines, TSC Academy, and the very hapless London City team with only 2 points to round out the National Division.
Well, the International Division is tightly packed as well. The Italia Shooters on top with 35 points, but the Serbian White Eagles still have visions of winning this division. They're at 30 points and 5 points back of the lead. Toronto, Croatia behind them. Then it's Portugal FC rounding out the division with 22 points in 15 games.
Well, every point counts here. We're getting close to the end of the season here, so this is a big game for both teams. Join us back here. We'll have all the first half action right here on Rogers TV.
The sport's biggest star, the undefeated contender. Only one will break through and get closer to the light heavyweight title as former champ Chuck the Iceman Liddell, coming off a thrilling victory over Vanderlei Silva, faces Sugar Rashad Evans, the Ultimate Fighter winner who's never lost and is determined to knock off the UFC legend. The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents UFC 88, Saturday, September 6th from Phillips Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. Only on pay-per-view.
The one we fought the whole way through?
That was the best
Oh,
show
yeah, that was
shot.
a good memory.
Got the camera set, got the pen on the ground where I'm supposed to stand. I'm not lined up properly, so I said, oh, I'll move over.
When we played golf, and I actually hit the camera dead center.
Wham!
Thanks for that, I recall that.
I went and bought over a tea kettle.
Our guest didn't show up, and I was freaking out because I got no one to talk to.
Maybe all the times I forgot to buy the right groceries. I didn't know I was a golfer at heart.
But I had the viewers, and it was quite nice.
Centennial Park, I am Ben Ennis along with Mike Arcelides. You are watching the Canadian Soccer League on Rogers TV. The Brampton Lions taking on the Serbian White Eagles, and we are underway with the Lions taking the first possession. They are moving from the left to your right as they control the ball near midfield. The White Eagles try and get it in deep, but the Lions maintain possession. That's Camara. Lions up with it near midfield. Glad we could bring you this exciting Canadian Soccer League tilt to you on Rogers TV. Both of these teams with a lot to play for. The White Eagles still have visions of first place in the international division on their mind, Mike. And the Brampton Lions not out of it in the national division either.
No, by no means are Brampton out of it. As we saw right off the top of the show, we went through the game results and the league standings. And Brampton are just behind the North York Astros, who have been amazing in the second half.
There's a ball in and handled easily as the White Eagles and Dan Pelk look to bring it upfield. Pelk kicking it away from just outside his own area. It's a good kick from goal. He gets through. There's Visiknitz.
Team MVP. Look out for Visiknitz, number 9 in white. He is amazing.
Visiknitz, the man to watch for the Serbian White Eagles, along with Dragan Radovic, number 11. As those two can be a lethal combination. That ball is intended for Radovic. Radovic on the run, picks it up on the far sideline. A nice chip in, and Radovic will keep it from going past the touchline and gets it back inside to Gomez. Gomez.
Is that Radovic? What happened to his hair?
Dragan Radovic with trying a new look today.
Oh my goodness. Don't recognize him. He looks like Mr. Clean.
Well, we'll see if it pays off for him today. Sasha Visiknitz with the cross. That gets across to Gomez. Gomez has the entire goal, but chips it just over the crossbar. And our first chance of the evening coming off the foot of Daryl Gomez, as he had a glorious opportunity on the beautiful cross from Sasha Visiknitz. Nice.
That's what Visiknitz does. He's a very good player when it's crossing the ball into the danger zone. And there you see from 2 weeks ago, Gomez, although he got that yellow card following his goal, he put his team back in the game, and unfortunately, they couldn't hang on.
Here's a goal kick to be taken by Kevin Doyle, goalkeeper for the Brampton Lions. He gets it about 3/4 of the way up the field. The White Eagles ping-ponging it around. Here's a chance for the Brampton Lions, but that just slips off the boot.
That was a big miss there by the Brampton striker. He tried, but to no avail, as he couldn't get a piece of it. Good defensive work there by the Serbian White Eagles. Look out for number 4 in white, the big man, Jankovic.
That was number 20, Jeremy Shepard, with that chance. Unable to come up with the ball. Here's Big Jankovic. He tries to go over the top, but nobody home. That'll sail wide. And out of play. It'll be a throw-in now for the Brampton Lions, as it's Daniel Camara taking it.
Everyone you see in white in the offensive area is explosive and dangerous. There you see Shepanovic, 18 years of age. Then the man with the armband, number 5 in white. That's their captain, Budalic. And then there's Visiknitz, number 9. And there, Mr. Clean himself, number 11, Dragan Radovic.
We've seen plenty of Dragan Radovic this season in the Canadian Soccer League. He will prove to be a force in this game, no doubt. Him along with Visiknitz, the two key strikers for this Serbian White Eagle squad.
He looks a lot like Robert De Niro's character from Taxi Driver, so look out for him. Looks scary.
That's nothing but good news for him, I'm sure.
Talking to me?
There's the throw-in taken by the Brampton Lions. Daniel Camara sending it back to his defenseman. It's Rivero sending it back to the keeper, Doyle. Doyle. A long pass attempt, gets through everybody. Sent down to Dan Pelk. Pelk will regroup and send the White Eagles down the other way. Sends it to his defenseman, Jankovic. Jankovic looking sideline, elects to go up the middle of the field. There's an ill-advised pass, picked off there by Shepard. Shepard sends it back towards midfield. That's headed back into the White Eagle zone, but Radovic tries to body it in, can't control it. White Eagles try the sideline. That passes to nobody, as the White Eagles turn it over near midfield.
One guy to look out for in blue is Louis Rivero, number 4. He's the guy with a big ponytail. He is known for his chippy play. He can get a little physical. So keep an eye out on that man with the ponytail, number 4 in blue, Louis Rivero.
There's a ball near midfield. Stepanovic unable to control it. Still ping-pongs around near the midfield stripe. As the Lions doing a nice job sending it in, but it does go wide. But it will be a throw-in for the Brampton Lions. Looks like it'll be number 8, Nordo Gooden, to take the free kick. Well, he'll send it back, and it will be Daniel Camara taking the free kick.
Be careful here if you're the Serbian White Eagles, because we don't know where this is coming from. It looks like it's going to be kicked from midfield now.
And Camara obviously doesn't want to take it either. So it'll be Chalmers.
Superintendent Chalmers, as they call him on this team.
That ball is headed away, and the Lions will have to regroup near midfield.
Pretty slow start to this game. You don't want to be making the first mistake, especially if you're the Lions. We've seen the Serbian White Eagles. They're a team that has slow starts traditionally, and it's when they turn it up in the second half. So far, they've played a pretty conservative game. I'm talking about the Serbian White Eagles. As for Brampton, if they can strike early, they got Nascimento. If he can get on the score sheet early, you never know what can happen. We could see a Brampton win here tonight.
Daniel Nascimento has yet to touch the ball here early in this game, into the 8th minute of play. And Nascimento, number 9 in blue, leads the entire Canadian Soccer League with 14 goals on the season. And
he's only 21
that's really all you need
years
to
of
know
age.
about him. 21 years old, leading the Canadian Soccer League in goals, and who knows, maybe we'll see him in the MLS sometime down the road.
It's quite possible, as we see an injury right down there by the corner. That's number 13 in blue. That is Andy Garcia, not to confuse him with the actor. He's even better, I hear. But hopefully he's not acting right now. He looks to be writhing in pain.
Andy Garcia
This does not look good for him.
Can't tell if it's his midsection or if it's his left arm that
His left forearm is what he's clutching right now.
Really writhing in pain there. Andy Garcia, obviously, in a serious situation there. Be surprised to see him stay in this game. See if we can get a replay for you. But Andy Garcia, here, as you have a look, Garcia working the ball near the sideline.
Looks like
and just slipped on his own and maybe just bent his elbow backwards, his left elbow, as he was falling. Looked like he bent that elbow strangely.
That did not look good. He could have torn a muscle in there, in his forearm, and that is definitely not what you want to see if you are the Brampton Lions, as the trainer is out there, and there you see the official saying, hey guys, just leave him alone right now. He's injured. He's not trying to feign an injury here.
Well, Andy Garcia is down on the sideline. One chance so far in this game, one legitimate chance that came by way of the Serbian White Eagles. We have a look at the injury again.
He lost his footing, and then as a way to try and break his fall, he used his arm, his left arm, and that sort of got contorted underneath him with all his weight crashing down.
And we've seen this field play havoc with a couple of players in this Canadian Soccer League. Not the most pristine of pitches, as there are a few wrinkles and bumps to it. And Garcia learning that the hard way there.
We've seen a couple players go down in recent weeks here with injuries, and he's just added to the list.
Daniel Camara throws it in. There's Nascimento. Nascimento with his first touch, but he's taken off the ball as the White Eagles obviously keying on him. They know he's a dangerous man when he's got the ball. Gomez out wide. Regrouping. Sends it back to the middle. Here's Stepanovic. Stepanovic looking up the left side. He's got Budalic. Budalic running it down, almost got it away from Kevin Doyle, but a nice play by the Brampton Lion keeper, Kevin Doyle, to gobble up that loose ball as Budalic was on it and looking for the loose ball goal.
We haven't seen much of this Brampton Lions team. So it'll be interesting to see how they react. They're in prime time right now on Rogers TV, CSL's Game of the Week. So they know the cameras are rolling and they have to step up their game. Not only because of that, because the playoff race will determine where they sit at the end of this regular season.
Yeah, absolutely, and they at one point did hold the lead in that national division. They've since come upon a bit of hard times as they are now at a 500 record and looking to cement their playoff status. But we know that this international division is by far the superior of the two divisions, I would say, overall. Those Italia shooters, likely the class of the Canadian
entire league, exactly, yeah. And followed by them is the defending champions of the league, the Toronto Croatia, and the Serbian White Eagles.
Yeah, so the international division, a very dangerous division. Brampton Lions would be well served to pick up even a sole point here. Here's Dan Pelk now, set to kick it away. Pelk looking middle of the field. He'll go up the right sideline. He's got Daryl Gomez, but Gomez bodied off the ball. And the White Eagles, though, maintain possession. Here's Gomez with a ball in, and that one is just broken up.
Great defensive play by number 6 in blue.
Number 6, Daniel Camara. Here's a cross, though. That was Dragan Radovic getting ahead on it, and that one did sail on goal. Kevin Doyle with the easy play at the goal line. Here's Doyle calling out his instructions. We're scoreless into the 13th minute. The Brampton Lions at Centennial Park taking on the Serbian White Eagles. You're watching the Canadian Soccer League on Rogers TV.
That was a great kick as we get a look once again at that cross in front of the net, which could have been a little dangerous as Radovic tried to get his head on that one, but Doyle was there. Good save there by the keeper.
Breletic trying to break that up, unable to do so, and the White Eagles will just be happy to kick it out of play as Stojic just boots it beyond the sideline. Be a throw-in for the Brampton Lions. They'll regroup. Send 4 into the box.
I'm sure they've done their scouting. They've seen the Serbian White Eagles team a lot here on Rogers TV, so they know what to expect based on watching the game footage.
That's sent back and booted out of the zone, or at least to midfield. Dragan Radovic battling for it, unable to win that battle. As some key ball possession games being won here by the Brampton Lions early in this game, and Yankovic overran the ball, stepped on the ball. In fact, you don't see that very often from Yankovic.
His recovery was very impressive.
Able to recover from that miscue. Lions, though, keep it in deep, and that'll be a free kick awarded. A hard tackle by number 8, Nordo Gooden. Did not necessitate a caution, though.
No, it's still early, though. These guys are just trying to get their feet under them, and I'm sure there was no malicious intent on that play.
That's back into the Lion zone, and there's another free kick. So the White Eagles gaining some ground by way of some foul calls going their way. Here's Stepanovic. Has a man in Vucinic. Stepanovic sends it back. Jancevic. And that will be a turnover by the Serbian White Eagles. Look to have a little something going there, but Stepanovic unable to maintain possession deep in the zone, and he will head it back out of play. Brampton Lions here with the throw, and we are scoreless into the 15th minute of play at Centennial Park. Yankovic with the header, but it remains in the zone.
Just looks like the Lions are hungry here tonight. No pun intended, I guarantee you that. But like you said, Nascimento has not touched the ball very often, but they've had great ball possession. We're only 15 minutes in, and it seems like they're setting the tone right now and taking it to the Serbian White Eagles.
Yeah, without a goal being scored, I would say that this early part of this game has been controlled primarily by the Brampton Lion attack. And they haven't had too many scoring opportunities to show for it, but if nothing else, they're controlling the ball and they're controlling it inside the Serbian White Eagle zone.
Mentally, you got to think that they are not going to let the Serbian White Eagles tell them what to do on that soccer pitch.
That ball is thrown in, handled by Dan Pelk. Pelk will look to throw it up, and maybe an ill-advised toss in there as it's picked off by the Brampton Lions. And here's Camara sending it back towards the middle. Andy Garcia back in the play, so
it's good to see him back in the game.
Obviously, don't need his arms too much in soccer here. That is an offside call on the Brampton Lions as the Serbian White Eagles will kick it away. Dan Pelk waiting for his teammates to head in deep, and he'll take the short route to his right. Here's a deep ball in. Dragan Radovic heading it over to Sasha Vesiknits. He somehow keeps it in play. Radovic tried to send it back to him, but a little bit of a miscommunication on the part of Vesiknits and Radovic as they...
You see him go for the header very often here tonight so far. Maybe he's trying to test out that head.
Well, maybe that was the whole reasoning behind the head shaving.
Maybe he's angled his head in a way that that ball will go where he wants it to a little better.
Here's a throw-in for the Brampton Lions. Headed back out of play by Sapanovic. And Daniel Camara taking his time grabbing the ball.
Definitely, in terms of communication and talking out there and knowing where each other is on the field, you got to give the edge thus far to the Brampton Lions. It seems like Serbia are a little apprehensive right now, not talking out there as well as that we've seen them in the past.
That's sent up towards midfield, picked off by the Serbian White Eagles into Nikola Budalic. And his hard work is paid off in the form of a free kick. Here are the White Eagles now.
Look out for Shepanovic here down on the left side.
Here's a shot, and that had little to no chance of being on goal. An attempt by Marko Medic from distance, and that sailed a good 15, 20 feet wide of the net.
You got to question that shot selection right there. I don't know what he was planning on doing. Maybe he saw something in the goalkeeper's stance that, hey, maybe I can catch this guy off guard, but that was a very questionable decision right there to kick it.
A very tough kick from there. The wind is going from our left to our right, so kicking into the wind was Medic, and it showed as the power and accuracy both lacking on that shot. Here come the Lions now. They've got something going. Here's the cross. That gets all the way across. But a nice defensive play there by the Serbian White Eagles. It appeared that Jeremy Shepard was in position to get a shot away, but some fine defensive work by the Serbian White Eagles, and they send it out of play. And possession will stay with the Brampton Lions. But
very close there. You saw it right on our replay here that the Brampton Lions were within striking distance of getting the first goal of this game.
Very dangerous looking scenario there for the Brampton Lions, and they will maintain possession here. And Serbian White Eagles have to be a little bit stunned at the way this game has started. They're used to controlling games, but so far it's been the Brampton Lions who have been the superior squad, and they've earned themselves a corner kick here.
Coach Chancharovic does not look happy right now as we're getting some great angles down there by the benches. Excellent work by our camera operators here this evening. And there we see the coach for the Lions.
Here's the first corner kick of the game to be taken by the Brampton Lions. It'll be Andy Garcia taking the kick. And it's hit smartly, but a nice play there by, looked like Goran Vlaski with the nice header out of the area. And that relieves the pressure as Dragan Radovic is sent in. He's got Sasha Vesiknits to his left. Dragan Radovic, the nice move to break inside. Radovic now with the cross, and it gets over everybody. Daryl Gomez working his man. And it will be ruled offside, I believe.
Going the other way now. Brampton really got away with that play right there.
It looked like Dragan Radovic might have been in alone, but just didn't quite have the angle he wanted.
Getting another look at that. He had the man one-on-one, and we know his explosive speed and footwork. He tried to cross it in front, but no dice, as that went a little far, and Gomez could not get track.
Kevin Doyle with the goal kick taken to midfield. The captain, Nikola Budalic, earning himself a free kick.
All the calls have gone Serbia's way thus far.
Budalic looking for Sasha Vesiknits. Vesiknits now controlling near the corner. Vesiknits looking for a cross, working his man. He earns a corner kick.
A little bit of a miscalculation there by the team's MVP, but he still managed to force that corner kick, so he's very lucky there. He lost control of the ball, but the Brampton player did not want to mess around. He just kicked it out of play because this man is very dangerous when it comes to crossing the ball into the box.
So Vesiknits now will take the corner kick. And it's a low ball, cleared easily by the Brampton Lions.
Not a good corner there. I was about to say I wouldn't be surprised if he gets it right in front to Radovic, but not a very good corner there.
White Eagles, though, maintain possession. And they'll have a throw-in on the far sideline. The tide's starting to turn just a little bit here in the first half of play, as the Serbian White Eagles have had some sustained pressure here for the last 5 minutes or so. And here's another shot, but that sails wide. And that will relieve the pressure for the Brampton Lions as they escape that barrage of chances by the Serbian White Eagles without getting scored upon.
That one might not have been the best shot you'll see tonight, but as they say, there's no such thing as a bad shot.
It'll be Kevin Doyle taking the goal kick. It's a good one. And it will be a free kick awarded to the Serbian White Eagles, as Medic has some words with the referee, and he will take that free kick. Looks to his left. He's got Jankovic, he's got Sepanovic. Jankovic finds Sepanovic. Sepanovic works his man, and that'll be a throw-in for the Brampton Lions. So a turnover there by Sepanovic. Brampton Lions control.
Great work there by Jeremy Shepard, 20 in blue, forcing Sepanovic to kick it out of bounds.
That's sent over to Daniel Nascimento. Nascimento taking off the ball. He will maintain possession, though, for the Brampton Lions. Daniel Nascimento, the leading goal scorer in the Canadian Soccer League, trying to make something happen here in this first half. Hasn't had much to do so far in the last couple of minutes, as it's been all White Eagles pressure over the last 5 minutes. But here, when called upon,
we'll see what he can do.
We'll have to see what he is able to do, but White Eagles playing some solid D here early. Budalic.
One of the best teams in the entire Canadian Soccer League in terms of their defensive strategies.
Budalic with a nice ball into Sasha Vesiknits. Vesiknits looking for the cross, and he's earned himself another corner. Sasha Vesiknits with a nice pass there from Nikola Budalic to spring him.
Those guys are like a 1-2 punch. Vesiknits and Budalic.
Here's Daryl Gomez. Gomez working his man. Gomez sends it back. And that's a body in the, and that will be a penalty kick awarded to the Serbian White Eagles. Milan Jankovic.
Shepard's pleading his case, saying, man, come on, don't do this to us right now, as we get another look at that. Take a look. You make the call.
Jankovic taken down in the area, and
he was brought down.
It looked to be a good call by the referee, as number 20, Milan, actually it will be Dragan Radovic to take the penalty kick.
He's taken a few this year, and he's missed
scoreless
on one occasion.
In the first half here between the Brampton Lions and Serbian White Eagles. The White Eagles trying to break the deadlock. Dragan Radovic has a chance right here. He steps into it and punches it down and into the bottom right corner of the net past Kevin Doyle. And just like that, the Serbian White Eagles take advantage on a penalty kick set up by Milan Jancevic and finished off by Dragan Radovic. Dragan Radovic looking like he was going to take a powerful shot as he took a number of steps into that ball, but perfectly placed into the bottom right corner to open the scoring here at Centennial Park. It's 1-0 for the Serbian White Eagles.
He faked the keeper one way, shot the other, and he put his team up a 1-0.
Here's Sasha Vasiknitz as the White Eagles looking for more. Radovic unable to come down with it. He is the lone goal scorer so far. The Serbian White Eagles lead the Brampton Lions 1-0 on a costly penalty as Jeremy Shepard took down his counterpart,
Janusevic.
Milan Janusevic. And it was Dragan Radovic capitalizing on the penalty shot. The Lions now trying to respond. They'll regroup. Haven't been outplayed by very much in this first half, but they're down a goal.
First 15 minutes, you'd have to give the edge to the Lions, and then the last 15 minutes of this first 30, the Serbian White Eagles have been in control.
Jankovic rising up, heading it back towards midfield. Here come the Lions. Daniel Camara looking for Nascimento. Nascimento, though, unable to come up with the ball, just a bit too strong off the boot of Camara. The Lions trying to work possession of the ball. Instead, it's a turnover. Here comes Breletic. Breletic looking to Budalic. Budalic now. Back to Breletic. He's got Budalic to his left, and Breletic just unable to maintain possession. As Jankovic trying to work his man off the ball. Appeared to grab a bit of jersey there. No call. And it's getting chippy there as Jankovic smartly sends it beyond the end line. Corner kick to be awarded to the Brampton Lions.
Head coach Janjetovic is not happy with his team's effort on the defensive end as we get a look at a man with many years of experience. He's got 3 decades of experience coaching in Europe.
Here's Andy Garcia set to take the corner kick. Brampton Lions down 1-0. That sails through everybody. Finally hits the head of Nordo Gooden. Gooden, though, couldn't find the net with the header.
Now, when he's shaking his head there, he's not happy with that effort. What can you do? He's going to look to redeem himself next time.
So it'll be a goal kick to be taken by the Serbian White Eagles. Dan Pelk will kick it away with his team up 1-0 into the 29th minute. The Serbian White Eagles trying to defend their home turf, up 1-0 on the Brampton Lions. That goal kick intended for Nikola Budalic is headed around midfield. Budalic finally gets his body on it. Here come the Lions now. Andy Garcia. Garcia looking for the cross. Instead elects to send it back. Here come the Lions. Here's a shot on goal. Handled easily by Dan Pelk, and maybe the Lions just wanting to test Pelk there, as Pelk hasn't seen much of the soccer ball early in this game. It's been mostly all of Serbian White Eagles early, and the scoreboard shows that as they lead 1-0.
That might have been just for confidence sake, getting the shot on net and saying, hey, we actually can get the ball on net. Next time we'll actually come with a dangerous shot. So in terms of Brampton's psychology here and their psyche, they're lucky to just get that first shot on goal.
That's an offside on the Brampton Lions. The Serbian White Eagles will take the free kick. And it'll be the goaltender Dan Pelk to take it from outside his own area. And it's a low shot.
Might even twist out of bounds because of this wind.
It stays in play and sent back. A dangerous looking pass there back to Kevin Doyle, but Doyle making a nice play on the ball to clear it out of harm's way. Sent back in to the White Eagles area, and they will in turn send it out of play. And in fact, they have been awarded the throw-in on the far sideline.
Don't know what happened on that last play. It must have been a really big instance of miscommunication between the defender and the goalkeeper, as they almost got caught as Radovic was smelling blood.
That ball is kicked out of play by the Brampton Lions. It'll be another throw-in for the Serbian White Eagles. They've got a lead to play with now, just trying to pad that here in the first half. We're about 15 minutes away from the end of this first half, and we will have first half analysis and highlights at the half, so stay tuned for that. Ben Ennis along with Mike Arcelidis, Tiffany Kalanikos as well. You're watching the Canadian Soccer League on Rogers TV. The Serbian White Eagles looking for more here. Here's Radovic. Radovic with the shot and just wide of the goal. Dragan Radovic looking for his second goal of the game on the run. And his shot intended for the far post just sails wide. And another dangerous opportunity for the Serbian White Eagles.
Radovic is so scary, and this man knows it. That's why he's got him up there cherry picking all game long.
Dragan Radovic with another glorious opportunity as it goes by the wayside. Kevin Doyle will kick it away for the Brampton Lions.
You know, his heart was beating fast when he saw Dragan Radovic breaking down the far side.
And just so much speed utilized by Radovic, breaking down the right wing and breaking past all the defenders to even get that shot away. Just in a track meet here early, as that'll be a free kick to the Lions. Got to be one of their first one or two of this game, as it's been mostly the White Eagles with the discipline. And there's a shot on goal handled nicely by Dan Pelk. Not a bad shot, really, as that appeared to hit the turf before Pelk was able to gobble it up, and he boots it almost the length of the field. Radovic getting up there with his freshly shorn head.
And he took a headbutt.
Yeah.
Might have been Louis Rivero, the guy I mentioned earlier, the chippy agitator down there on the defensive end. Number 4 in blue.
Radovic still putting his hand to his head to see if there's any blood there, but it doesn't appear to be any, and he looks no worse for wear. Here's Stepanovic. Stepanovic directing traffic. He's got Budalic. A nice toss into Budalic. Budalic gets past one defender, gets past another. Nikola Budalic right into the middle. And what a save! Nikola Budalic all alone in front of the net, but Kevin Doyle stones him on the doorstep. What a sequence of moves by Nikola Budalic, but Kevin Doyle up to the task, gets those arms up in the air and bats that ball out of midair.
He single-handedly schooled 3 defenders in blue. That was phenomenal. Had he scored, that would have probably been the goal of the year.
An impressive sequence for Nikola Budalic. Unfortunately for him, the finish not as good as the setup.
And Doyle, you got to give him credit as well, not to take away from Budalic. You got to give it to Doyle for an amazing save as we get another look. Take a look at the moves here, the footwork. Gets by 1, gets by 2, gets by 3. That's Louis Rivero. And then the shot just blocked and punched away by Doyle. Excellent save there by the keeper of Brampton.
Appeared to have plenty on the shot, did Budalic, but just sticking with it all the way, never gave up on the play, was Kevin Doyle. And the White Eagles, though, looking for more, but they're broken up by the Brampton Lions. Lions send it up the other way, but that's picked off by the White Eagles. There's Jancevic. Jancevic up to Budalic. Budalic looking for a ball in, but that sails in too deep. Kevin Doyle picks it up and sends it up the other way. And there's some harsh body contact there.
Looks like Serbia is going to get the ball here.
The assistant referee there awarding the ball to the Serbian White Eagles. Not sure if it'll be a free kick or a throw-in. Looks like it will be a free kick.
Check that out. That's Steven Daversa, number 5 in blue. Looks like he got a little physical, and he ate a knee to the thigh. Boom. Right right there, and he fell awkwardly. He is going to be in some pain. But he's back up. He's fine.
Looked like if there was any call to be made there, it might go against Daryl Gomez. But
to no avail.
Instead, it is the White Eagles with the free kick. Sasha Vesiknets going to try from distance. That had the height. It would have snuck under the crossbar had it been on goal. Plenty of zip on it, but just wide of the net. That chance from Vesiknets. That'll be a goal kick to be taken by Kevin Doyle. Doyle watches his teammates head up to midfield, and Doyle pounds the goal kick 3/4 of the way down the field.
Considering how many quality opportunities the Serbian White Eagles have had, the Brampton Lions have to be thanking their lucky stars thus far that it's only 1-0 here in the 36th minute.
That goal came off a penalty kick, and here's a free kick to be awarded for the Brampton Lions. But that penalty kick goal came off the boot of Dragan Radovic.
This is Nordo Gooden going down. I will not describe that. You can draw your own conclusions as to where he was kicked.
Gooden. Got it right in the Goodens.
It's one way to describe him. They're not feeling Gooden right now.
And he's going to walk it off, though.
That is the manliest man I've ever seen. If he doesn't collapse from the pain right now, he is superhuman.
So it will be a free kick for the Brampton Lions. Ball sent in to nobody, and that'll be
good effort
a goal kick for the Serbian White Eagles. That was past everybody. And not the best opportunity there for the Brampton Lions, as they had a free kick in a reasonably dangerous area.
Absolutely. When you get those opportunities, especially against a top team like the Serbian White Eagles, you have to capitalize. You're not going to get those very often. And for Brampton to do that and fire the ball way wide of the net, not a good chance.
Dan Pelk will kick it away from his own goal. Pelk sees his teammates head up towards midfield. And Pelk kicking into the wind. A good kick. Headed back out of play by the Lions, so it'll be a throw-in to be taken by Stepanovic. Stepanovic looking to Budalic, and then instead decides to keep it up the sideline and find Breletic. Breletic back to Vesiknets, up to Breletic. Can Breletic keep it in? He sends it back, and there's a goal, and it's the man who scored the first goal of the game, Dragan Radovic, punching home his second of the game on a beautiful effort. A fantastic cross finished off by Dragan Radovic, and it's 2-0 for the Serbian White Eagles.
All the credit there as we get another look at that has to go to number 10 in white, Breletic, as he took the pass from Vesiknets, crossed it in front, and a beautiful shot by Dragan Radovic as we get another reverse angle of this.
Well, Dragan Radovic along with Sasha Vesiknets, two dangerous strikers on this Serbian White Eagles squad, and Radovic has shown why early. 2 goals to his credit, as Vesiknets has got to be looking in his rearview mirror for that team lead in goals now.
You know who else is looking? It's Nascimento for the league lead. He's got 14, and Radovic is breathing down his neck right now. And what a better game to do it than against him.
Yeah, and Daniel Nascimento has been very silent so far. He's got the ball right now, but taken off it as he sees 2 defenders collapse on him. And obviously the strategy of the Serbian White Eagles is to keep Nascimento away from the ball at all costs. And can you blame him? He has 14 goals on the season. And Nascimento now feverishly looking for an opportunity, and can't believe the no call there. Nascimento looks skyward in disgust as the referee will issue a booking here, and will go to Nascimento. Might be for dissent there, as Nascimento still having words with the referee. Daniel Nascimento, the leading goal scorer in the Canadian Soccer League this season. And he has been issued the first caution of this game. Free kick to come by way of the Serbian White Eagles. Dan Pelk coming out wide. Now he'll retreat back into his own goal, and it'll be Big Yankovic to take it now. Yankovic on the near sideline. Yankovic waiting for his teammates, and there will be a substitution to be made.
This is number 7 in blue coming into the game. This is Miles O'Connor, the midfielder.
Miles O'Connor entering the game, as the Lions got to think about offense here primarily, as they are down 2-0. Approaching the end of the first half of play, here's Vesiknits working his man.
Good defense thus far.
Vesiknits unable to maintain possession, and it goes off the boot of Nikola Budalic, and it will be a throw-in to the Lions. We are 4 minutes away from the end of the first half.
Without added time, of course, keeping that in mind.
Yeah, it should be a few minutes of added time with the Andy Garcia injury.
At least 2 minutes.
Here's a throw-in from the Lions, headed by Budalic, back out of play to be taken again by the Lions. They send it back up, and Budalic heads it back out again.
Just trying to kill the clock is what they're doing, the Serbian White Eagles. Very strong first half so far.
Nikola Budalic had that glorious opportunity earlier in this first half. Unable to capitalize, though. But no matter, Dragan Radovic has done that twice. 2 goals for the striker. Here's Sasha Vesiknits. He's got Radovic working towards the middle. He's also got Daryl Gomez. That cross is cleared back out of harm's way. There's a ball sent back in. Sapanovic gets it over to Vesiknits again, but Vesiknits is offside. He's not happy with the call. Neither are the fans. Lions, though, looking to send it up. Kept in play, or was it? Referee says no, it was not kept in play by Nikola Budalic. And it will be a throw-in for the Lions.
If they can manage to get a goal before the end of this first half, the momentum will swing in their favor. Otherwise, you got to think, mentally and physically, this game is the Serbian White Eagles.
There's a ball fired way up in the air near midfield and sent back now to Dan Pelk. Pelk looking to his left to Yankovic, then looks back up the middle. Pelk will take it himself. Pelk boots it 3/4 of the way down the field. That gets past the defender, and Vesiknits looking to capitalize, has it go under his foot.
Radovic with a very sneaky header, getting it by Louis Rivero, but he couldn't get it by Doyle, who was definitely scouting there.
A couple of players going down in a heap near midfield, and it is Marko Medic hitting the turf, but he bounces back.
Seems to be okay. We saw a sign of sportsmanship. Both teams knocking the ball out of play. Brampton will recover with the throw-in.
There's the Lions near midfield. They'll send it back. Here's Rivero. Getting it to midfield, but no further. But there will be a free kick to be taken by the Lions near the far sideline. The Lions down 2-0, approaching the end of the first half at Centennial Park, as the Serbian White Eagles have enjoyed 2 goals scored by Dragan Radovic, and the referee will signal 2 minutes of added time. As we have hit the 45th minute here will play 2 more, and then they'll break for the half. And barring a goal by the Brampton Lions, the Serbian White Eagles will enjoy a 2-goal advantage heading into the locker room. And that's thanks
to one man.
To one man who's done it all, Dragan Radovic. He scored the 2 goals. They could have had a couple more, a number of chances for the White Eagles in this first half so far, but the Brampton Lions not out of it, not by a long shot, and not considering the way that man near the ball can score. Daniel Nascimento scored 14 already this season.
Not having the best of nights this evening, though. We've seen him complain a lot to the referees from the clutching and grabbing that he's seen. His body language is not looking good. That's number 9 in blue. Not happy. But that's just a testament to how skilled the defenders are for the Serbian White Eagles.
Brelitic flying in there trying to break up the play by the Lions. Lions will throw it in, as I'm sure the White Eagles would be happy to just take this 2-goal lead into the break. Yankovic, though, with a bit of a turnover. A couple of players go down, and the referee...
It's going the other way.
...will say that it was initiated by Nascimento.
Good work there by Shepanovic. Milos Shepanovic. Number 15.
Yankovic sending it up to Vasiknitz. Budalic back to midfield, back to Budalic. Budalic with the turnover, but that was as a result of a foul, so it'll be a free kick for the White Eagles, as
this could be the last play of the first half.
And there is the referee blowing the whistle for halftime. It's the Serbian White Eagles enjoying a 2-0 lead thanks to 2 goals from Dragan Radovic, one on a penalty kick, one on a fantastic cross by Brelitic. Stay tuned for halftime analysis and highlights. That's coming up after the break. You're watching the CSL on Rogers TV.
Rogers TV and Rugby Ontario are teaming up to bring to you Brampton versus Aurora. You don't want to miss all this great rugby action only on Rogers TV, Sunday, September 7th at 2 p.m.
Super Channel is more than just great movies. It's award-winning series from Canada, the U.S., Australia, and the U.K. Docs that shock, concerts that rock, extreme sports, gaming too, on 6 channels, 2 in razor-sharp HD. Watch what you want, when you want with Super Channel On Demand. So much more than great movies. Super Channel is something else.
Call 1-888-ROGERS-1 to order.
Hockey season is back, and so are we. It's Junior A this week. Each week, we go inside the OPJHL. We've got your highlights, player profiles, and tours of the local rinks. Only on Rogers TV, Thursdays at 7 p.m.
Welcome back to Centennial Stadium. I'm Tiffany Kalanikos alongside with Daniel Nascimento, the league's leading scorer with 14 goals. It's been a bit of a rough first half for you guys this half here. You're down 2-0 to the Serbian White Eagles. How's your confidence going into this game?
Confidence right now is really low, but we're going into halftime and tried it up a bit, see what happens. Just got to start playing our game, and hopefully we can get things going for the second half.
It's been a little rough in the first half. You guys have had a bit of a roller coaster of the past few weeks. Now, you beat the Trois Rivières Attack, #1 team in the league, and then you came a hard loss with the St. Catharines Wolves. That must have got your confidence down. Now, what do we have to look forward to in the second half with you guys?
If we just keep playing the ball on the ground like we usually play and stop putting it in the air against the Serbian White Eagles, hopefully we get our game going, put in a couple of goals. Our team is just really down right now because we lost a couple of our players who went to Belgium to play overseas, so we'll see what happens in the second half.
Lots to come in the second half. Now, these 3 points are big 3 points for you guys. How important is this game for you guys to get the win out of it?
It's very important for us because we need these points to get in front a little bit more from the St. Catharines and the other teams that are below us. We just need to get all our points we can get before the playoffs, so it gives us more confidence to get in the playoffs.
And Daniel, you got to go back into the dressing room. I'm going to take it it's going to be a rough first half summary here with the coach. What do you think the halftime talk's going to be like?
Oh, I have no idea. It's going to be a lot of yelling, I think. But we'll get things going. Hopefully we start playing the ball more on the ground and see if we could improve in the second half.
Well, thank you very much, Daniel. Best of luck to you, too, in the second half. There's lots more to come with second half action live on Rogers TV.
For the first time ever, TNA Wrestling pay-per-view goes international. Kurt Angle, Sting, and Samoa Joe invade Toronto, Canada, Sunday, September 14th on pay.
Game of the week where we have the Serbian White Eagles leading the Brampton Lions 2-0, and Dragan Radovic has just been on fire, guys. We've seen him put in a couple goals today. In the past, we've seen him put in lots of goals in the past Serbian White Eagle games. He is hot on Daniel Nascimento's heels to get that golden boot as the league scorer in the CSL. Guys, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the match today.
Yeah, well, Dragan Radovic is the only goal scorer so far today, as he has netted 2 goals, one by way of the penalty kick, one on a nice cross from Brelitic, and it's been all Dragan Radovic all the time so far for the Serbian White Eagles.
As it's been all season long. Here we're going to get a look at some great defensive work there by the goalkeeper Doyle. And there we see Radovic trying to get that header by Doyle to no avail.
Dragan Radovic proving to be the offensive force for the Serbian White Eagles here in the first half, but he's had some support. Nikola Budalic with a fantastic opportunities. He eluded a couple of defenders before making his way towards the middle of the goal, but that was a nice save by way of the Lion keeper as we look at the first goal of the game, the penalty kick goal from Dragan Radovic. No doubter as he picks the bottom right corner. As we have a look at the match summary, corner kicks 2-1 in favor of the Brampton Lions. Free kicks, though, 7-3 for the Serbian White Eagles. That was very evident in that first half that they had the majority of the fouls go their way. Shots on goal decisively 8-2 for the Serbian White Eagles. Just the one card that was awarded to the league's goal-scoring leader right now, Daniel Nascimento, with a yellow card late in that first half. As it was a very exciting first half of action, Brampton Lions, though, have a long way to go in this match. Next telecast, Tiffany, why don't you take us through that?
Well, we got a big game coming up next week with London City at Portugal FC. We'll have that live at Lamport Stadium on September 12th at 8 p.m.
That should be a very good game. Portugal FC still battling for playoff position. London City really having some troubles this season. Just 2 points on their season so far.
Well, we have lots more to come after the break, including all the news from around the CSL. Join us here live on Rogers TV. Welcome back to the CSL Game of the Week. I'm Tiffany Kalanikos alongside with Ben Ennis and Mike Arcelides. And guys, the standings are very important to this game today. Actually, Daniel Nascimento just mentioned to me that his team is fighting for a spot in the playoffs here, but he is going to miss the next game because of that yellow card. And that would be costly for the Brampton Lions as we see them here with 24 points, trying to catch up to the North York Astros with 29.
Yeah, the Brampton Lions right in the thick of the playoff picture, but Daniel Nascimento, if he misses that final game, and obviously huge blow to the Brampton Lions as they are trying to catch the Trois Rivières attack, who have 34 points, as you mentioned, and they are kind of running away and hiding with that National Division lead with the North York Astros just behind them, 29 points. As we mentioned, London City, the team we will see next week, they will be lucky if they are in that game against Portugal FC, a very explosive offense in Portugal FC. London City still looking to pick up their first win of the season, just 2 total points coming by way of 2 ties. And there you see the rest of the teams in the middle of the pack there. As we have a look at the international division, the Italia Shooters proving to be the class of not only their own division, but the entire Canadian Soccer League as they sit atop the table, 35 points and 5 back of them. The team you're witnessing up 2-0 on the Brampton Lions. The Serbian White Eagles with 30 points thanks to 9 wins, 4 losses, and 3 ties. Then the rest of the division also in playoff position. Toronto, Croatia, and Portugal FC battling to pick up points. It's Portugal FC rounding out the table, 22 points. So every single point very important for all these teams, but very much so for the Serbian White Eagles and the Brampton Lions. So a lot at stake here in the second half.
Yes, Ben, every point does count for all these teams, especially for both these teams we have here tonight. It's the Serbian White Eagles and the Brampton Lions. All the action back here live on Rogers TV.
The movie 2-0, and both of those goals off the foot of Dragan Radovic. One on a penalty kick, the other on a fantastic cross by Alex Breletic, as the Serbian White Eagles now will likely play a more defensive style of game in this second half. Don't want to give up too much, though.
But when you got a man like that right there, Dragan Radovic, in the offensive danger zone, use him. He can score at any moment, as we've seen all night long. He's very, very scary when he's got the ball. So if he does get an opportunity, he is going the length of the field. And he could very well score and get a hat trick. We haven't seen that this season.
Well, and don't count out the Brampton Lions just yet. They've only got the league's leading goal scorer, Daniel Nascimento.
But here's a man who's breathing down his neck.
Here was the first goal from Radovic, a penalty kick goal, making no mistake, beating Kevin Doyle along the ground into the corner of the net. That was the first of 2 for Dragan Radovic. That was the easy one. The second one, a little more difficult, as he had to take the feed from Alex Breletic and feed the back of the net. First half, I thought, at least at the beginning, that the Brampton Lions showed a lot of life coming out there and controlling the ball.
As we get a look at that second goal of the game.
Yeah, this was the cross from Breletic, tapped in nicely by Dragan Radovic. But that first half of that first half,
first 10-15 minutes, you're right, Ben, it was all Brampton. They were leading in terms of ball possession and in terms of just getting into the heads of the Serbian White Eagles. We saw some miscalculation, miscommunication by the Serbians. But then after that, it just seemed like they turned it into a different gear, did the Serbian White Eagles. They kept sending Radovic. Shapanovic was getting it up to Viciknets and all of these strikers up there in the midfielders, and they just turned it up, and Brampton could not contain them.
The Brampton Lions just now entering the field of play, and you've got to believe that they were hearing it from their head coach at the half. Would have liked to have been a fly on the wall there. But Daniel Nascimento has got to be better here in the second half. And
knowing he's not going to be playing next week, he better get all his goals out today, because he'll be sitting.
Daniel Nascimento will not have a chance to add to his goal tally next week. So this is the last opportunity for Daniel Nascimento. 14 goals on the season for him. A 15th and 16th would tie this game, as the Serbian White Eagles do enjoy that 2-goal advantage, as we mentioned, and free kicks a large part of that first half. It seemed like every time the White Eagles appeared to turn it over, it was ruled a foul, and they were awarded a free kick. So I don't know if you believe in referees evening things up, but if you do, might expect to see a few more calls go by way of the Brampton Lions here in the second half.
Definitely. As you mentioned, the free kicks were in huge favor of the Serbian White Eagles. And we'll see right now, based on, like you said, that tirade that they probably got in their locker room, Brampton need to come out much better than the Serbian White Eagles will.
And we're just about ready to get underway here in the second half of action. The White Eagles will have first possession of the second half. There you see Dragan Radovic hovering near the ball as they await the signal from the head referee. Radovic urging his team on. They've got a 2-goal advantage.
They can't wait to get their feet on the ball.
A fantastic first half of soccer And no
There
doubt
you
the
see
second
us.
half will be just as impressive. And we're underway in the second half.
And the
Or
referee
are
didn't
we?
like that. No, he's going to call him back.
Botched kickoff there, and we will do it all over again.
You see that with a bunch of 5- and 6-year-olds. Not often in the Canadian Soccer League, I assure you.
And this time it's good. That's sent back to Daryl Gomez. Gomez looks to his right. And he's got Stojic, but it's turned over. And the Lions will take it up the field. They head into the wind here in this second half. Have to see if that has anything to do with the style of play they come out with, as Nascimento's cross gets over everybody, but the Lions maintain possession and are awarded a free kick near the sideline. Nascimento with his first touch of this second half, as the Lions have the free kick over near the far sideline. They've got 4 in the area. That's headed back. Vasignitz, though, sends it back into his own area. And Daryl Gomez gets drilled, and there's a nice save by Dan Pelk, a shot from distance, but Pelk right on it, as it was a strange play from Vasignitz. They had it cleared, but Vasignitz sent it back into his own.
Are we going to be seeing a card here?
Looked to be a dive there on the part of Medic.
He's not going to be getting a card. If he were to be handed a yellow, he'd be gone from the game.
Hard to say there, but
there we see Gomez going nuts.
Fantastic save by Dan Pelk moments earlier.
Now keep a lookout for that turf right in front of the box. Pelk's seen a couple of bounces, at least not be too dangerous, that he could handle. He definitely knows, this being his field turf, his home turf, that he knows what he's going to expect, and definitely hasn't let a ball get by him.
Here come the Lions now. They work the ball to the middle of the field. Brelitic, though, with a nice play to take possession. And he's awarded a free kick. The fans starting to get restless here, as Yankovic quickly sends it over to Medic. Medic directing traffic, goes to his right. He's got Daryl Gomez. Gomez sends it back to Stojic. Back to Gomez. Gomez eyeing his options. He has Dragan Radovic, but Radovic is ruled offside.
Close.
Looked like it was pretty close, but it did appear that Radovic was on the onside part of the defender.
There you see Radovic gesturing to Gomez. Thank you for that pass. Very nice. Give him the thumbs up.
And it is Dragan Radovic in search of the hat trick here in the second half. Yeah, very close. Hard to see from that angle just exactly where Radovic was when the pass was made. Nevertheless, here's a free kick from the Brampton Lions keeper, Kevin Doyle. Doyle gets it down the field, but here comes Daryl Gomez. He's in alone. Daryl Gomez looks and fires, and he's got a goal. 3-0 Serbian White Eagles. Daryl Gomez taking advantage, going in all alone. He had Kevin Doyle out to dry and pumps it into the back of the net. 3-0 Serbian White Eagles.
That's 3 goals in 3 games for Gomez, and he is on fire, leading the charge right now. Breaks by 2 defenders. Nice little header, gets it up, and then Doyle was just confused as to what he would do, and he blew it by him.
It looked like Gomez got very close to the keeper, Doyle, and Doyle really...
He got deked out.
Came out a fair distance, but Gomez just too much to handle, as he did not panic in all alone. And when it looked like the Brampton Lions might get something back, instead they have a 3-goal deficit, and the White Eagles looking for more. They'll have a corner kick, but some troubling news is Dragan Radovic now rolling around on the field. The man who scored 2 goals already today appears to be in some pain.
He's clutching his kneecap.
He wants to get up, but can't quite muster the strength as he falls back over on his back, holding his head, but it appears to be the knee.
He's trying to get up here.
The right knee. We'll have a look at it again as Dragan Radovic plants his right foot and
twisted his left ankle.
He does go leg on leg with Steven Diversa. Diversa catching the leg of Dragan Radovic.
You got to think the field is playing a factor right now in terms of footing. Had he not been in that situation where he planted his feet incorrectly, he might not have been impacted so aggressively.
Yeah, it's really didn't look well. It was the right foot there where he caught him with the shin pad on shin pad, but
on the follow through pretty much.
Look to get all shin pad there though. Radovic though is going to be helped off the field, so this is terrible news for the Serbian White Eagles.
2 goals on the night.
That is likely going to be the end of the night for Dragan Radovic. His team does have a 3-0 lead, but it doesn't look promising for Dragan Radovic as he leaves the game with an apparent right leg injury, unable to even put any pressure at all on that right leg. As he's being helped off the field by the trainers. Corner kick taken by the White Eagles.
Quick start.
And too quickly, they'll reset and do it again. Sasha Vasiknits is the man to be taking this corner kick as Budalic heads back. The short corner taken by Budalic. Budalic looking back to Vasiknits. Vasiknits gets it back, and it's controlled by Breletic. Breletic, oh, you had a man there in the form of Jancevic, and it was scooped up nicely by Kevin Doyle.
This could be a momentum shifter right now with Radovic leaving the game. Can Brampton take advantage?
The Lions needing every single break they can manage here as they have a mountain to climb in the second half. They trail 3-0 cross by Vasiknits, handled by Doyle. Doyle sending the Lions up the other way. They get it up near midfield. They send it in, but Stepanovic heads it out of play. It'll be a throw-in to be taken by the Lions as we look at Shepard. And there's a ball sent back towards the middle. Battle for it won by the Serbian White Eagles. They'll throw it in. And here's Big Jankovic. Sent back to Medic. Medic pressured, so he just fires it up. A very good, strong, safe play by Medic, and it's resulted in a chance for Budalic as he sends it over to Vasiknits. Vasiknits working his man now. Vasiknits has a man, and he sends it over to his right. There's a cross into Gomez. Gomez tries to one-time that into the bottom left corner of the goal for his second goal of the match. But that just sails wide of the post. Kevin Doyle will take the goal kick as Seswain Mason is set to enter the game to replace Dragan Radovic. Referee has not signaled for him to enter the game yet, though. That goal kick is controlled by the White Eagles. That ball is sent in for Vasiknits. Fans not happy with that offside call, though, as Vasiknits wasn't going to get to the ball, but it was ruled offside. Free kick for the Lions. Fans still jeering the referee for that call.
He's going to hear it all night, whether he's right or wrong. These Serbian White Eagle fans are very passionate about their team, and they're letting the linesman and the official know where they stand.
Seswain Mason entering the game for Dragan Radovic.
So he's done for the night, is Dragan Radovic. His 2 goals are going back to the locker room to heal.
And no surprise there in a 3-0 game. No chance risking any further injury.
And we don't even know how severe the one he has is.
And here's a chance now for the Lions. They get it almost in deep, but taken off the ball was Nordo Gooden.
Very half-hearted effort there. If you're down 3-0 right now in the middle of the standings of the National Division, you got to bring a better effort than Mr. Gooden did just right there.
Nordo Gooden taken off the ball, and as a result, the Serbian White Eagles have possession. They're awarded another free kick. There's a free kick taken, intended for Sasha Vesiknets, and taken too quickly, in the opinion of the referee, so they'll send it back. And it will be taken again on the far sideline. Serbian White Eagles looking for more. They are already up 3-0 into the 56th minute of play. Here's a cross. That's over the bar and out of play. You're watching the Canadian Soccer League on Rogers TV. Ben Ennis along with Mike Arsaelides, Tiffany Kalanikos. You're watching the Serbian White Eagles hosting the Brampton Lions, and it's the White Eagles on top by a wide margin. 3 goals is the difference here. 2 in the first half by Dragan Radovic, and 1 here in the second half off an impressive boot by Daryl Gomez. Gomez was sent in alone. Here come the White Eagles. They're looking for more. Sent back over to Nikola Budalic. Budalic has the substitute Mason. And Mason getting his first touch here. The substitute coming on for Radovic. And that'll be a throw-in on the far sideline for the Serbians.
Definitely a big trade-off by losing Dragan Radovic. So if they're smart, they'll use Mason in terms of his defensive abilities.
Yeah, well, the goal scoring has been not an issue for the Serbian White Eagles so far in this game. They've done it early and they've done it often.
Referee just talking to the Brampton players, telling him how he wants this game to be run.
There's a ball in and cleared nicely by the Brampton Lions, but not out of the zone. White Eagles keep it in. There's a ball contested by Budalic. And no call there by the referee. He says play on. Lions regroup. Daniel Nascimento looking to add to his 14 goals on the season. He's in on Dan Pelk, but Pelk wisely kicks it out of harm's way as Nascimento was closing on him very quickly.
There we see the huge contingent of fans, most of them representing the Serbian White Eagles, although Brampton has made the drive here to Etobicoke. It's just about a 15-minute drive, so not too bad. It's almost like a home game for them, but not when you got the Serbian White Eagles fans roaring all night long.
Here come the White Eagles now up the sideline. They're looking for more. They've already got 3 goals in this game. And there's a ball intended for Budalic.
They got lucky there.
And
great defensive effort by Nascimento coming back.
Daniel Nascimento doing it at both ends. Although he does not have a goal to speak of. Has a yellow card, though. A very costly one. One that will see him miss his next game. Ball battled for at midfield. The Lions come away with possession. They'll regroup as it's sent back to goalkeeper Kevin Doyle. Doyle with the long kick from goal. It does get up and quite a distance, as a little bit of miscommunication there between Yankovic and Dan Pelk. Eventually, it was Yankovic taking it himself and firing it up to midfield, and a wise decision because here comes Sasha Vesiknets. He looks over at the assistant referee, no flag, so he will take it himself, look for the cross, but a nice header to clear the zone by the Brampton Lions. But here comes Daryl Gomez. not satisfied with the 1 goal, wants an assist here as he makes a nice play over to Stepanovic. Stepanovic, though, unable to get it through a number of defenders. Lions will likely clear it. They do. Yankovic, though, cutting off the Lion attacker. And there's a costly turnover. It's a 3-on-2 for the Lions. If they take it quickly, Nascimento has it. Nascimento with what it looked to be an ill-fated cross right into the waiting arms of Dan Pelk.
This is Mason now, the substitute, trying to turn it the other way.
A nice give and go there, and it's given right back to Vasiknits. Vasiknits, though, can't control Mason, and Vasiknits on the same page there, playing give and go not once but twice. Back into Nikola Budalic. Budalic again all alone, and the unselfish play sends it back to Daryl Gomez for his 2nd goal of the game. The captain, Nikola Budalic, with a very unselfish play as he was already beaten once in all alone, elects to send it back to Daryl Gomez, and now Daryl Gomez becomes the 2nd Serbian White Eagle player in this game to have multiple goals.
Superior footwork by Budalic. We saw him earlier on deke out 3 Brampton Lion defenders there. He did it again, this time feeding it over to Daryl Gomez, giving Gomez his 2nd goal of the evening, and that's 4-0. Yikes.
Well, if the nail wasn't already in the coffin,
the hole is dug, my friend.
The hole is dug, and the coffin is being covered as it is now 4-0 Serbian White Eagles over the Brampton Lions. Dragan Radovic and Daryl Gomez with 2 goals apiece. We know that Radovic doesn't have a chance for the hat trick, but Gomez certainly does. And that's what you expect your captain to do. Make the unselfish play there. And he feeds his teammate. Gomez does Budalic, and it results in a goal.
Not only is he a great player, he's a great human being. He's a nice guy. I've talked to this man on many occasions, Nikola Budalic. Probably the most generous and kind player in the entire Canadian Soccer League.
Well, he definitely showed his compassion there as he gave up the scoring opportunity for himself, instead electing to hand the chip shot to Daryl Gomez. But here come the Brampton Lions trying to break the deadlock, and they do. The Brampton Lions get one past Dan Pelk as Alex Arbello gets through to the defenders, and finally that bright light at the end of the tunnel is
looks to be lifting up.
Yeah. They take a little dirt off the coffin. Still a long ways to go.
A breakaway goal here.
Alex Arbello getting through the defenders.
A nice left footer to beat Pelk. Pelk hasn't been tested, and we've seen this a couple of times this year, where they get that 1 weak goal given up. And this was definitely that case where the defense for the Serbian White Eagles was just left napping. I guess they heard our broadcast, and we told them the game was over. And Brampton did not want to go down 4-0.
Well, head coach Milan Kinkarevic can't be happy with that. Neither can the goaltender Dan Pelk, looking for the clean sheet instead. He has allowed his first goal of the game, and the Brampton Lions showing signs of life here. They still have a long ways to go. 3-goal deficit it remains, 4-1.
Stranger things have happened, as we saw earlier on in this season between the North York Astros and the TFC Academy. That game came down to the final second, with North York upending the TFC Academy. I believe it was 4-3 your final.
Well, the Lions have new life, and they regroup in their own zone.
Stranger things have happened, so we're not saying this game is over by any means right now. It's 4-1. They can score. Nascimento hasn't even had a shot on net tonight.
Well, when you need 3 goals, it's good to have the leading goal scorer in the league on your side. And that's the situation that the Brampton Lions find themselves in. Daniel Nascimento, 14 of them so far this year. Here come the Lions. And Nascimento is in the middle of the field looking for a pass as he watches the Brampton Lions get through the defense. And they've got a little something going on here as it's sent back towards Nascimento, but he's bodied off the ball, but it's still inside the box.
That ball won't die.
And only now is it relieved is the pressure for the Serbian White Eagles, and things getting a little bit dicey as we have a substitution. Steven Daversa coming out of the game, and Michael Ferracci will enter for the Brampton Lions.
We'll see what this move will do. Maybe he can add some offensive punch that they were lacking. Then again, he's back on the defensive end, so I doubt that's going to happen.
That's handled easily by Kevin Doyle. Doyle working it up the field as it's sent up by the Lions, and the White Eagles looking a little bit shaken here after that shutout breaking goal off the boot of Alex Arbello. Haven't been the same confident bunch since then, and you'll have to wait and see if that maybe cost them in the end. Lions, though, obviously in a huge deficit. 4-1. You're watching the Canadian Soccer League on Rogers TV. Ben Ennis, along with Mike Arcelides, Tiffany Kalanikos. You're watching the Serbian White Eagles hosting the Brampton Lions here at Centennial Park. 4-1 is the lead for the Serbians. 2 goals from Dragan Radovic. And here's a chance for Sasha Vesiknets. Vesiknets looking for the shot. He takes it, and Vesiknets somehow feeds the back of the net. It wasn't the hardest shot he's taken in his life, but it was very effective. 5-1 Serbian White Eagles. Sasha Vesiknets sizing up the defenders.
This almost looks like slow motion. He's just toying with them.
Works them left, works them right, and then the shot.
Here's another look from behind the net.
Hugging the ground, just gets inside that post, and
Doyle wants that one back.
It didn't have a ton on it, but it was placed perfectly, and there is the response from the Serbians, and here's a chance for Nascimento as his shot is stopped, but the Lions looking for another.
Just great defense there by the Serbians.
Daniel Nascimento looking for his 15th goal of the season. Nice save by Dan Pelk.
Stood tall, faced the shot head on, got the hands up, and now it's still 5-1. Wow.
Well, Sasha Vesiknets getting in on the goal-scoring party, 5 of them. And for the Brampton Lions defense, as we have some words being exchanged between Marko Medic and number 23, Andrew Silva.
Here's another look at that as we get like a headlock by Medic over Silva, and then they both go down. And surprisingly, Serbia is going to get the ball here.
Well, they have a 4-goal lead now. The most recent goal scorer is Sasha Vesiknets. Here's Budalic, he's offside. Nikola Budalic with the assist on the 4th goal of this game to Daryl Gomez.
He's so good.
Nikola Budalic has shown flashes of brilliance here in this game. Could have easily had a goal in that first half. Made a beautiful move to get inside the defenders. His shot was stopped. Here come the Lions, and that is a very weak shot off.
Did you feel the wind? Because he just fanned on that one.
That was not the best shot in the career of Nicholas Kovpaku. Or was that Nordo Gooden? Looked to be Gooden make that.
He has not had the best second halves in the history of soccer.
Dan Pelk handled it easily, and he will kick it away from goal, as there will be another substitution.
Looks like Yankovic, the big man's coming out.
Yankovic will leave for Euro Stematovic.
looks like the Lions are also trying to make a move, and they'll probably do that after this play resumes. Next whistle.
Dan Pelk sends it the length of the field into Seswain Mason, and then into the waiting arms of Kevin Doyle. Doyle surveys his options, decides to go up the middle, and here's Stepanovic playing it up the left side to Gomez. It gets over to Breletic. Gomez looking for it again. Breletic tries to take it off his man. It's sent back up to Gomez. Gomez now unable to control it. It's turned over and controlled by the Lions. Lions work it back into their own zone. Little bit of pressure and the Lions turn it over. And here's Mason. Mason regrouping.
A very weird last couple minutes here. It's been very disjointed.
Passes going awry for both teams as it's worked deep inside the Lions zone, and then we'll play it up the sideline. The Lions down 5-1. But here is Daniel Nascimento. Nascimento with an attempted cross, but that is broken up easily. Nascimento has
Seems to be neutralized.
Gobbled up every single time he tries to make a pass, tries to get a shot away. The White Eagles are all over him, and here's Sasha Vesiknets.
Late call.
A late offsides call. The fans obviously not pleased with that one. Sasha Vesiknets taking his time getting back up the field, still having words with the assistant referee.
He just said to him, I can understand what he just said. You're not getting a Christmas card this year, my friend.
Off the Christmas list is the assistant referee. As here come the White Eagles looking for more. Just bullying the Lions now at this point as Vesiknets plays give and go. Now Vesiknets with Mason. Vesiknets to the middle of the field, and it's broken up. So that's the end of that chance. Here come the Lions. It's a ball intended for Nascimento, but that goes by the wayside. And the White Eagles will play it in. Here's Breletic playing it back to Gomez. Gomez back to his defender. And the Serbian White Eagles regrouping.
They're just bringing this game to a snail's pace right now. Just slowing it down. There's about 20 minutes left to go here. And they're just passing it around like, I don't even know how to describe this. It's like they're just wasting some time here.
Nikola Budalic with the costly turnover, though.
Huge miscalculation.
Here's Nascimento just trying to get everything on goal now, I think. Trying to pick up his 15th goal of the season.
He won't do it from 60 yards out.
That one was easily handled by Dan Pelk.
You're not going to beat Pelk from that far out, especially with a shot that's not exactly earth-shatteringly fast.
Gomez now has his man. That's sent over to Mason. Mason
He's got some
works it
wheels.
over to Gomez. Back to Mason. Mason now plays it off. Here's Breletic flipping it over to Vesiknets. Vesiknets tries to get it back in front. Did he keep it in? No, he did not. That will be a goal kick. A nice effort there from Sasha Vesiknets, trying to keep it in play, but unable to save it from the end line was Sasha Vesiknets. Instead,
here we finally see that substitution as Jeremy is coming out of this one.
And it will be...
I don't think that's Pagani coming out. Yeah, that looks like Mohamed Kanu is coming into this one. And he has replaced Jeremy Shepard. Some late roster changes by this Brampton Lions team. That's Jeremy Shepard. We saw him. He was responsible for that opening goal scored by the Serbian White Eagles as he brought down the Eagle player in the box. And as you all remember, Dragan Radovic was the man selected for that free penalty kick. and he made no mistake. So Shepard's gone, and in is Kanu.
And just a last-ditch effort here for the Brampton Lions to get some fresh blood into this game, maybe get some playing time for some players that don't see much of it.
Looks like we're seeing Diego Maradona working out on the sidelines, just trying to warm up here. He might be seeing some game action as we approach the 76th minute.
That's sent back to the keeper, Kevin Doyle. Doyle with Visiknitz close on him.
You can just feel the air being let out of the Brampton Lions tires here tonight.
It's been all Serbian White Eagles all the time. They lead it 5-1, 15 minutes to go in this game before full time, as Daryl Gomez has a chance for a hat trick, and maybe Sasha Visiknitz can become the third player in this game with multiple goals. Here's a substitution. Out comes Breletic. He looks to be favoring his leg.
That's not good. And we're finally seeing Maradona come into the game. This is Diego Maradona, the nephew of the soccer legend. Great camera work here as we get a look at what happened to Breletic. Number 12 in white, Maradona, is quickly going to make an entrance right now.
So here we go. The Serbian White Eagles now trying to play out the last 15 minutes of this game. Maybe get Daryl Gomez a hat-trick goal. Mason, the substitute, I'm sure would be ecstatic to get a goal of his own. As it's sent back into the waiting feet of Dan Pelk, who plays it up.
There you can see the body language right now at the center of your screen. That was number 9, Nascimento. These guys are so defeated. 5-1 in a soccer match is like 10-1 in any other sport.
That's sent up towards the middle. Here's Mason now. Mason with Visiknitz to his left. Mason working 4 defenders. Gets through them, and it's sent back to Mason. Mason now with 1 defender to beat. And will the referee allow play to continue? Yes, he will.
Get up, Mason. I've seen your tricks before, Keswain.
And the Lions with it near sideline. They play it in, but past its intended target was that pass. Sematovic working a throw-in.
Finally, Maradona enters the game here. That's number 12 in white, replacing Alex Breletic, who is still on the same spot that we saw him earlier, down on the field. He's being attended to right now by the training staff, and I think it's his right shin or his right ankle. So as soon as we have an update, we're going to get it to you. I know Tiffany Kalinikos is working hard down there, getting all the information for us, as she does every single week.
Here's Silva sending it up. Kareem Johnson playing it across the field. Here come the Lions, and that cross intended for Nascimento does eventually get to him as he's working the left side of the field. Nice move by Nascimento to get himself some room. Flips the pass in. Here's Kareem Johnson there with the pass that was picked off. And that pass bounds dangerously. Here's Sasha Visiknitz working Kevin Doyle, trying to cause a turnover. Doyle, though, calmly, coolly plays it up to midfield.
Like you said, Benjamin, Visiknitz is looking to get 2 goals in this game so that he can make it Radovic with 2, Gomez with 2, and himself with the deuce.
Radovic will not have a chance to go for the hat trick. He left this game here in the second half with an apparent right leg injury. Was not able to put any pressure on that leg at all as he was helped off the field. And that could be a major blow to this Serbian White Eagles squad as they get themselves primed and ready for an extended playoff push as the regular season winds down in the Canadian Soccer League. The Lions trying to get something here in the dying seconds. Nice save there by Dan Pelk on the shot from distance.
Deja vu. We've seen about 5 or 6 shots skip just in front of the box and catch Pelk in the hands. Obviously, the Brampton Lions have that as their game plan. Let's skip it in front and hope for the best, because that's the only way they think they're going to beat Pelk tonight. I haven't seen one shot get above his hands and close to the net.
Dan Pelk hasn't been called upon very often, but when he has, he's made the play for the most part.
It's like we're going to see the end of Daryl Gomez tonight.
Daryl Gomez heads towards the sideline.
And he is replaced by the man with no name. I believe this is Milicevic Dragogad. But I could be wrong, because the lineups change here for the Eagles almost by the second.
Radohovic entering the game.
Our trusty staff in the truck getting all the information.
That ball will be awarded to the Brampton Lions. They will take a throw-in on the near sideline as Nascimento passes it in. But that is quickly broken up, and Mason is taken off the ball, but he's earned the Serbians a throw-in here. Just about 9 minutes left until full time, as this game has belonged entirely to the Serbian White Eagles. They've dominated start to finish, and putting the finishing touches on this game are the Serbian White Eagles. The shutout is gone, and now with Gomez leaving the game, likely all chances of hat-tricks are gone unless Sasha Vesiknets can net a couple here.
They've got 5. 7 doesn't seem too out of reality. Could happen.
Very well could. The Lions work it near midfield. They'll send it across the field to Faraci. Faraci loses control, and there's a turnover for the Lions. Brelitic still limping around on the sideline. So the Serbian White Eagles.
Brelitic walking towards the bench, hobbling still.
The Serbian White Eagles do lead this game 5-1, but they've seen a couple of key players go down with injuries, and just as I mentioned that, there's another man hitting the turf. It's Mason, but he looks to be all right. He'll get up.
The White Eagles are an older team, so when you've got some miles on you, so to speak, your body is not going to be so helpful when you fall down on that turf. Ankles are going to start to turn a wrong way. Shins are going to start to hurt a little more when they're kicked, especially with cleats. And definitely their age are taking their toll on them, are the Serbian White Eagles.
Here are the Lions with possession. They play it in front of the goalkeeper, Doyle. Lions looking for their second goal of the game. They're on the run now. That's played up right wing, but broken up by the White Eagles. They'll regroup.
Their defense is just so suffocating. Every time we see the Lions try and get in there, it's almost like child's play. They're just toying with them.
And there we saw the captain, Budalic, coming back, and he's done it really at both ends tonight. He's had the assist, he had the near goal in the first half, and he's played some stellar defense as well as the captain. It's a ball handled by Dan Pelk.
Hasn't had much work tonight. I'm sure he's not paid by the save, because he would be a very poor man.
Absolutely would, as he has not been very busy at all. He's enjoyed the view from his end as he's seen 5 goals go in past Kevin Doyle. Doyle getting a bit of the goal light sunburn as he has a chance, and it just able to clear it were the Lions on that shot by Maradona.
Unfortunately, he doesn't exactly have the prowess of his uncle, because a very failed opportunity there by number 12 in white. As we get another look at Diego as he gets it through the legs. And just as I say that, as we're going to get back to live action, we're going to send it down to our broadcast colleague, Tiffany Kalinikos, who has some information.
Thank you, Mike. Just a quick update on the injury front here. I just spoke with the Serbian White Eagles trainer, and he says that the Serbian White Eagles player will be headed for the doctor tomorrow. He is questionable for the next game. A hard hit for the Serbian White Eagles, although they could have nothing to be ashamed of tonight. They're leading 5-1. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Tiffany, and I am going to assume that she's referring to Dragan Radovic.
Or it could be Braletic.
Both of those White Eagle players leaving with injuries.
It looks like their doctor's going to be really busy tomorrow.
It's going to be the walking wounded for the Serbian White Eagles, but nothing can put a damper on the way they've played this game against the Brampton Lions. 5-1 they lead it as Mason again hits the turf. Mason getting beaten up here in this second half. He's all right, though. He'll get up.
I'm sure he'd rather be hit and knocked around on the field than sit on the bench all game.
Absolutely would, I'm sure. As the White Eagles will look for their 6th goal of the night here. And Daniel Nascimento can only look on and watch. Doesn't want to even look at that scoreboard because it is ugly at this point. 5-1. Sasha Vasiknitz working his man. Gets it into Mason. Mason looking for Vasiknitz again. But Mason is taken off the ball. And the White Eagles getting some pressure on Nascimento, who appears to be...
He's hurt. His ankle.
Down on the turf. Daniel Nascimento, the leading
now watch
goal
this.
scorer.
Number 8 in white has been called over. That's Stojicic, Nenad Stojicic. And the referee is telling him, hey, when you go in like that late, try not to hurt someone, please.
Daniel Nascimento able to get up under his own power. No cautions awarded. And we will play on here late in the goings.
We saw a headbutt there.
Things starting to get very chippy here. And in a 5-1 game, really no reason for either team to get into any ridiculous antics after the whistle. As obviously the Brampton Lions are going to be frustrated as they look at the game film after this game, but got to just get through this game without any further discipline being awarded. They'll already be without their leading goal scorer, Daniel Nascimento, for the next game. Don't want to lose anybody else.
They can't afford to lose anyone else because playing the way they did tonight, they need as many healthy bodies as they can get and people who can actually get shots on net.
White Eagles now controlling their own zone. They will kick it out of play. We are about 2 minutes away from added time here in the second half. Shouldn't be too much of that, though. Not too many players hitting the turf here in this second half. Here are the White Eagles on the far sideline tossing it in. And that is picked off by the Lions. We will have 2 minutes of added time here in the second half as we are almost through an hour and a half of play. Lions now just playing for pride. Here's Nascimento taken down
right at the top
in
of the box
area, and Nascimento, I'm sure, would have loved to add to his stats there with a penalty kick, but instead...
I don't think they've earned it tonight. You're not going to get those calls when you're down 5-1. The ref's going to say, hey, what have you done on the field tonight to warrant a penalty kick?
Sasha Vesiknitz working his man. He goes through his legs, and that's got to be frustrating for the Brampton Lions. As Sasha Vesiknitz putting the moves on Michael Faraci, going between his legs. And it's controlled again by Vesiknitz. He'll send it in on goal on Kevin Doyle, who will send the Lions out deep. We're into added time here at Centennial Park, with the Serbian White Eagles leading the Brampton Lions by a score of 5-1. This one was never in doubt. Start to finish, the Serbian White Eagles have given their fans a treat.
As they often do, with exception to 2 weeks ago when they took on Portugal FC, losing here on their home field. They've pretty much manhandled their opponents here at Centennial Stadium.
And they've seen their powerhouse players do all the damage too. A goal from Sasha Vesiknitz, 2 from Daryl Gomez, and 2 from Dragan Radovic, who we've seen so much of this season. The only bad news was Radovic left this game in the second half with looked to be a pretty severe leg injury. Couldn't put any pressure on it. Dragan Radovic is obviously a key player, and here's Daniel Nascimento now looking for his 15th goal of the season. He's going to take it himself, as really
it's almost like a boy among men here. He's just being manhandled.
Nascimento has a chance in front of the net, and that cross hit him right on the boot, and he had a glorious opportunity for his 15th goal of the season. But instead it goes off his foot and over the net.
You think he's disappointed, Ben?
Just a little bit. Daniel Nascimento just playing for his stats now, because this game is completely out of reach at a 5-1 into added time here, as the referee will look down at his watch and he'll blow the whistle for full time. The Serbian White Eagles take this game by a score of 5-1. Sasha Vesiknitz with a goal, Daryl Gomez with 2, and Dragan Radovic with 2 of his own. What a game for the Serbian White Eagles, as we have a look at our play of the game. And obviously one of the 5 goals and one of the 2 scored by Daryl Gomez.
That would put them up 3-0 at that point, Ben.
Daryl Gomez with his first of 2 on the game, just picking up the loose ball, splitting the defenders, fires it in past the goalkeeper, Kevin Doyle. And that made it 3-0. You've been watching the Canadian Soccer League on Rogers TV. Serbian White Eagles 5-1 winners over the Brampton Lions. For Mike Arcelides and Tiffany Kalanikos, I'm Ben Ennis. Good night from Centennial Park.
Hockey season is back.